You're tuning into the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down, featuring in-depth discussion and interviews with stand-up comedians on the art of stand-up comedy. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, stand up, sit down.
How you guys doing? Welcome to another exciting episode of Black Hollywood Stand Up Sit Down. I am your host, Nick Perdue, and today I have the lovely, the talented, the beautiful, the exquisite Miss Lourdes Lulu Gonzales sitting here.
Yeah, I love that intro.
That was good, right?
I'm gonna bring you on the road. That was amazing. You made me realize how amazing I was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? That's what, I'm here, I'm uplifting.
You're like a great, positive,
there you go.
speech motivator.
I'm like a high school counselor.
You're like a life coach.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Slash
Yeah.
high school counselor.
Yeah.
I can see it.
You know, that's my goal in life right there, is to make other people feel good. Who cares what I'm doing?
No.
But as long as you feel good.
I feel amazing.
Right?
Your job is done.
Now, people have seen you all over the internet, because I know you are really blowing it up with the awkward black girl. And what is it?
How men become dogs.
How men become dogs. I was just gonna tear that up.
Yeah, you
all the
are.
way,
Because,
but-
you're a man and
I'm a dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so,
terrible.
yeah. Leave it to the women to actually set things straight.
I mean,
but it's actually written by a man. Shout out to Mark Cunningham. He's a great writer. Yvette Foy. They have had a great script put in there. I get to do drama, comedy. I get to be me.
So it's a nice flux,
balance.
and
People who like to see me do comedy, you get to see that. You get to see me cry, be sad.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, yeah, I cry. I can cry on cue. This
cry right now. See,
it's there. You see the eyes?
You would get fired right now.
You see the eyes?
You,
It's watering. That's watery. It'll drip.
Just there you go. Just put the
It'll look. You see it. You see it. That's
Come
talent.
back, mama.
Don't leave.
Yeah, that's
See it? I got it's almost like my glory tier. I'm ready.
You get a spirit award.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'm gonna give you.
Ooh. I was
a
hoping Soul
spirit award.
Train, but I'll take it.
Or a source.
A source? I want a source
award.
award so bad.
Yeah. You and Silk the Shaka will get source awards. Having a good time.
I love Silk.
Silk loves Silk too. No one else probably even knows who Silk is. People are like, who that? Go Google Silk
Yeah,
the Shocker.
YouTube
and you'll
Silk
be,
the Shocker.
Yeah,
He was amazing.
He
for
was
like-
Master P's uncle.
Apprentice.
He was supposed like he was nephew or something. And then Little Romeo came out and was like, okay, you need to go ahead. Go and sit down. Paper or plastic. Go ahead and sit. That's terrible. Isn't that terrible? No Limit Soldier.
Yeah, he's no limit right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He has no limit.
No, he hit his limit. That's
Yeah.
what it is. He was right there. He was like, that's it. That's
That's
it.
what he said.
98. That's it. That's your limit. That's your limit.
He's like, I want to go to 2000.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Not doing it.
Shout out to Silk the Shocker. Whatever you're doing, but I don't. That's the see.
You're gonna get like an angry tweet.
I am. It's gonna be.
Silk the Shocker's about to go on a rampage on you, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Much love, Silk.
At me on every conversation, because I will love to see that and participate.
I'm not gangster, okay? I don't need that right now in my life. I don't need Silk the Shocker to be angry at me. I don't need that.
I'm a little gangster. I could take over the gangsterness for you.
There you go. I'll send you out. I'll have you fight Silk the Shocker for me. Get your little Brooklyn. A son.
See, everybody goes there. You got to say it right. If you're gonna say, you gotta say it right. You gotta say son. It's like not son, like literally son. It's son.
Okay.
You gotta stretch it out, son.
But
What up, son?
I'm from LA. You're from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New
So
York.
tell me about that, because that's where you grew up and you're born and raised.
Born and raised
on the
New
East
York.
Coast. There you
Yeah,
go.
shout out to East New York. Shout out to Starrett City. Shout out to Pink Houses. Shout out to Linden Project. Shout out to.
We only have so much time.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Whew. That's what happens when you tell people from Brooklyn to give a shout out or
Yeah,
something,
you can.
because you
There
just
you go.
gotta keep going. You gotta keep. Shout out to
There's way
Flatbush.
too many of them.
Yeah, shout out to Flatbush. Shout out to.
So what was Brooklyn like, growing up, and because I know it's a little rough. It's one of the rough boroughs.
It's a pretty rough borough. When I was in elementary school, I was walking around with butter knives in my book bag. Don't know why. Thought it was cool. For safety, I'm gonna spread the shit out of somebody
with a butter knife.
Wow.
Okay.
But but hey, you gotta take precautions, And I played ball, so all I did was I would play basketball, then I would go to like dance class just to stay out of trouble. So kind of like I'll get hood on the basketball court, but then have perfect posture in ballet class. It's with a gangster attitude, like I'm gonna do these damn splits, But that was Brooklyn. But
did that help you on the court though? Like the
course.
dance moves, were you very silky?
I still play ball to this day, and my rebound is fantastic because I have great posture, I have great bounce. I know how to jump up and down without hurting myself.
There you go.
I have great cartilage in my knees. It's amazing.
I have great cartilage.
Great cartilage,
in my knees.
In my knees.
Okay, that is a quote right there. Great maybe Kobe doesn't, but I have great cartilage.
You see, he has to take those ice baths every day. Not I.
Okay, well, there you go.
It's
And then, so we know that you served in the Army.
Yes, I
right?
did.
You served the U.S. of A.
Yes.
And what made you want to go to the Army?
First of all, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I was in college, and I went to school at Virginia State University. Shout out to Virginia State. But my father was like, hey, man, tuition is an arm and a leg. Either you find a way to pay for tuition or you coming back to Brooklyn. And I was like, I don't want to carry no more butter knives. So I joined the National Guard, and they was like, all right, cool, National Guard, you just got to do 2 weeks in the summer, a weekend in a month, and we pay for everything. It was cool. I signed up, and then a month later, when I came back from boot camp, it was 9/11. So they was like, hey, I'm going to war. I was like, what? I'm 20 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they was like, we don't care. I was like, but I'm in school. We don't care. You're ours. Go to war. So that was cool.
That's crazy. So but you went to Afghanistan.
I went to Iraq.
You went to Iraq.
Yeah, Afghanistan was chill mode. Iraq was like...
That's when like bullets were flying over your
Yeah,
head.
I mean, we got bombed every day. Every day. It was like 3 or 4 bombs every day. I was going on missions. I was a gunner. I was the only female gunner in my battalion because I got in trouble. So they figure if I get in trouble, let's send her on a mission. Let's send her out there. Right?
Just in case, okay, she may not come back, but
yeah. She may not come back, but it's cool. She served her country. But that was their punishments. I was like in the streets every day.
So you're like G.I. Jane.
Literally. You see I'm wearing my pants today.
Yeah, I see the camo. Yeah.
These are real.
Those are your legitimate Army camo pants.
Yeah, I sweat blood and tears to get these. I didn't buy these. I paid with these for my soul. These are mine. People always like, hey, where'd you get those? The Army.
Not the Army specialty store.
Yeah,
these are standard issue.
These are standard issue. Like, this is not fun. I wear these because I'm like, man, might as well. Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
At least mine is official.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was there for a year, and it was hot. It's about 125 degrees every day, and you don't get to wear tank tops and flip flops. You're wearing boots, pants, jackets, bulletproof vests, a helmet, your gun, your ammo, and then you carry your water.
Wow.
So that's about 60 pounds on my back every day. Yeah, that's why I walk around with an attitude every day. That's why I'm angry.
And that's where comedy comes from.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of the
Yes.
no. But when you were like, were you joking around in the Army? Like, 'cause, like, where did this comedy? Like, where does it? Like, where does it stem from? Like, what made you say, you know what, stand up? That's it.
I mean, I've always been a goof troop. I've always been somewhat slightly not all the way there. And so instead of like crying about it or like, going to therapy, I just go to the stage. Stage is perfect therapy.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, there's been a couple, especially this past week, I've, gone through things and I hit the stage and I kill. Because I start talking about just me and just talk about all the crap that I'm going through.
Yeah.
And to make other people laugh makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So if I can make you laugh by a painful story, you're welcome.
I've done my job.
I've done my job.
Yeah.
I literally had this dude on when I was on Wednesdays. I'm at Hollywood Bar and Grill. This dude, he was like trying to heckle me or whatever, and he threw a joke at me, and nobody laughed. And it was just silent. I told him, I was like, you see how nobody laughed? I was like, this is my job. Let me do my job.
What did he say?
He was just like, I had my hair like in a ponytail or whatever, but he was like, all right, Pippi, long stockings. I was like, that don't even make no sense, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Was he drunk? Is that?
Oh, he was a little drunk.
little
And then
drunk.
I was going in on him because he had like a bright flannel shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Talk about he would have led the way in the military. I was like, not with that flannel shirt, dude. Nobody trusts you. Like, you have rainbows on. Nobody's gonna trust you. Your judgment. He was like, I'll do it. And then you Pippi long stockings. I was like, come on, dude. Like, I do this. I do this. Please remember that.
You know.
So it's just, I love taking out my pain on stage. I don't need therapy. That's like $200 a session.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Yeah. No. And it's like there's a new aura, I would say, that like when you're on stage and when you're able to really just kind of convey, even if it's something terrible.
Yeah.
You know, but because I know like as comedians, like we're able to take a terrible situation and still see that silver lining and still be able to flip it, and people look at you like, this is terrible.
Exactly.
But I'm laughing my ass off.
Exactly.
You know.
Like I have a couple of jokes about the military that I'm doing up there, and I tell them about, I got PTSD, but I got PTSD and allergies, all thanks from the military. So that I have, a couple of jokes about that I go into, and people are just like, wow. Like every time I get off the stage, there's people that come up to me and be like, were you really in the Army, or is this just a joke? Because they're funny. I was like, no, this is my life.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God. And they give me the whole thank you and all of that. But you're funny as hell, but thank you. I'm like, no problem. Yeah, go home. Thank you.
Exactly. Go home to your nice house.
Yeah, go home to your nice house. You're welcome.
So your first show, what was that like?
My first stand-up show?
Your very first stand-up show.
Ooh, I had about 3 drinks.
Okay.
I was nervous as hell. Because I'm used to like making people I know laugh. Yeah. To make everybody who don't know me at one point in time laugh at the same time, I felt was very stressful. And it was just like, all right, cool. I gotta just relax. Yeah. And I went up there, I grabbed the mic, I was a little shaky. And then I said my first joke and everybody laughed, and I just like, the calm came over. And I just went to work, and it was like I was on stage for 10 minutes for my first set.
10 minutes, the first set.
10 minutes for my first set, and I was just talking about nothing, about my hands, my man hands. I have a joke about my man hands. I was just talking, and the people were just like, "Yo, you're hilarious." It's like, "Where are you at next?" I was like, "I don't know. It's my first day." They was like, "No way!" I was like, "Oh yeah." They was like, "You're amazing." I was like, "Thanks." Help me out though.
That's a good first show.
Yeah, it was a real good first show. It was at the John Lovitz at
okay, Universal.
Yeah. Well, my first show in LA, for real, like, cause I did, on the East Coast, it was just a little bit.
Well, because like comedy in New York is totally different.
Totally different
than comedy in LA. I mean, did you do any spots in New York?
Yes.
You like Caroline's or like?
I haven't done Caroline's. I would love to do Caroline's.
Comedy Cellar.
I would love to do Caroline's. If anybody's listening, I'll be home July 6th to 18th. Book me. Plugging myself here. There's a spot in Harlem I go to. It's a Harlem barbecue spot. It's on 125th. Okay. They have a great crowd, but this crowd takes no prisoners.
Oh, so they're like the Apollo.
They were exactly like the Apollo. Yeah. Like, I had a couple great jokes that was like rocking, and then I hit them with some jokes that wasn't rocking, and they were just sitting there looking at me like, no words, no emotions. And I was like, get me the hell off of this stage. Because I felt somebody wanted to throw something. And I have to redeem myself. I'm actually going to be back there when I'm home in July. So I feel like I have to like come extra correct. Like you.
Hold on. But did you end on no laughs? Like, is that how you ended?
I ended on some.
On like a couple chuckles. And
I ended on nothing.
You ended on
It was they was done. They was done with me, and there was nothing I can do to redeem myself.
How long were you on there though?
It was like a good 10-12 minutes.
So for like the first 6 to 7, it was good.
Great.
And then that bottom half was just. But you don't have like a standard closer that even like like okay, like this isn't.
I had it. I did it.
And they didn't.
They was nothing. Over me. They were just I had a few people were just like. You know that the pity clap. Oh, the pity clap.
The worst.
The pity
That's
clap.
the worst.
And I was just, and then my homeboy, shout out to Omar, the comedian, he was the host, and he was just like, "Don't bring me in on this." But I was like, damn. But it was a good experience. Like I've never. That's the first and only time I ever really bombed like that.
But that's what I considered a bomb.
For me, it was a bomb.
For you, but like technically, like a bomb is if you go up and you get no laughs the entire set.
Yeah.
You know, so like you at least got some laughs.
I got some laughs, but you know, I have such a standard for myself that when it didn't go through, I was just like, man, you bombed.
Yeah.
Like I literally went home that night and like ripped out pages in my joke book, the jokes that didn't work. I threw them out and I just started writing new jokes. I didn't even want to look at those jokes.
Is it on video?
No, hell no.
But yeah, everything should be on video, you know,
No.
so you can see like where did I go wrong?
Oh, I know where I went wrong. Telling those damn jokes is where I went wrong. So it was a bad set. But I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that to wake me up and realize LA, New York, totally different flows. You got to bring something totally different on each coast. So it was a big wake-up call, and I'm actually grateful for that because it actually made me a better comic. Yeah. And now I'm even more ruthless, more fearless, and I'm more 100% just me. Instead of trying to even fit into the stereotype of what they want, I'm going to give you what you want, whether you like it or not. So.
Excuse me?
You were excused.
So what did your parents say when they found out that you're like, hey, Dad, I'm done with the army. I'm doing comedy. Like, what did they say?
Well, first of all, I have a degree.
Okay.
I have a degree in television, you know, writing for TV and radio and stuff. Okay. So my parents know I went to college. They came to my graduation. So they expected me to do things with my degree. I kind of suppressed comedy and, acting because acting is like my real main passion. I suppressed all of that. I got a 9-to-5. I worked at ABC. I was there for like 3 years. My parents was ecstatic. They loved it. Their daughter succeeded. Yeah. And then I got laid off. And I was ecstatic. And I came to tell them I got laid off, and they both was like nearly in tears. And I kept telling them, like, because I was trying to act and do comedy and all that stuff on the side, which you cannot do if you have a 9-to-5. It's impossible. Yeah. So the day I got laid off, I told my parents, I was like, look, this is a perfect opportunity for me to now chase my dreams of being an actress and do comedy. Yeah. And they looked at me like I was retarded. And my father was pissed. And then he didn't talk to me for like a week. And then he gave me this whole lecture about how he came to this country. He wanted to be a baseball player. And now look at him. He's never been a baseball player. I was like, dude, like, support my dreams.
Kill my dreams. I got a degree.
And he was like, he always goes back and forth. Like he has a degree as a mechanic from Panama. I'm like, nobody cares about your mechanic skills in Panama. It's not going to work here in the United States of America.
The bolts are different out here.
The measurements are different, Dad. The bolts and the ratchets are different. So my mom was on, like, being the typical mom. She was just like, well, if that's what you want to do.
I guess.
I'll support you. But my
Here's
dad.
Lunchables.
Yeah. But my dad was, like, really against it. But now that, he see me in some commercials, he see me on some web series and stuff like that. I'm trying to make waves on the TV and film. Now he's like 100% supportive. Yeah. Every time I speak to him, he's like, I'm proud of you, 100% behind you. I was like, dude, you was not supportive a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah. You was not on board. Yeah. So he's starting to see like a little bit of checks rolling. So now he's like, yeah, this is my daughter.
Well, I think also too, because he probably wants to say, okay, like, is she serious about it?
That's true.
And so now he sees, okay, like, you are serious and you are really, making strides and, starting to blow up. He's like, okay,
yeah, okay.
That's my daughter.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Okay, I'll claim her this week.
Yeah.
Next week, I don't know, but this week, I'll definitely go ahead and claim her.
Like, I just did an ESPN commercial. Okay. And I took some snapshots and I sent it to him. He's like, that's my daughter. Because they had my name on the back of the jersey because I was playing a basketball player. And he was like, that's my daughter. I'm going to have to watch ESPN now. Like,
so I had to order the sports package just for your commercial.
Just for my commercial. Thanks, Dad. We already have it. Don't flatter me, please.
That's funny.
So
That's
that's
funny.
my family. That's them.
So now growing up, I know you probably had some comedic icons. Like who did you look up to, and who do you still look up to comedic wise?
100% Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy till this day, I look back on him and just watch to see his delivery, his premises, just the way his transitions run. To me, that he'll always be like an icon. Martin Lawrence has to be in my top 5.
Yeah.
From the Martin Show to He's So Crazy to Run Tell That. The man is a genius.
He's good.
He's a genius, man.
good,
You can't have these type of characters, and that's where a lot of my comedy came from, especially when I was in Iraq and even in college, having no TV and just all you have is DVDs or VHSs, and all I would watch is just Martin, and Eddie Murphy, and I would try to mimic their faces, mimic their actions. That's why a lot of my movements are very masculine or very mannish, because it's like I've been watching Martin or Eddie Murphy for so long that I'm trying to mimic them in a sense that it comes off a little masculine, but I try to put a twist on it as a female. But those guys I watch every day. I watch old stuff. I watch new stuff. I was watching Norbit the other day, and I think it's hilarious.
Norbit?
Yes.
Really?
Norbit is hilarious.
Norbit.
Norbit, come on. First of all, he's playing an old Chinese man. He's playing a fat black woman. He's playing a dorky black man. Like, he's playing characters. He
is playing characters.
He's not just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna act and I'm gonna be drama." Because it's easy for me. I feel like it's a little bit easier to make somebody cry than to actually pull off a whole comedic scene. You already know how it is to try to do comedy and make everybody laugh. I can sit here and cry and make everybody feel sad for me. But to make everybody laugh, dude, that's impossible sometimes. And he pulls that off very well. I think he's a genius. You listening, Eddie? I think you're a genius. Martin, you're all geniuses. Want to work with me?
They're definitely watching right now. They're definitely watching.
I am amazing.
So I guess so. Your comedic style, you say you base it off of Eddie and off of Martin and stuff like that. Now, but like female comedians, because I know there are some good ones, and then there's some who just kind of come by the wayside, and you're like, okay.
I love Sarah Silverman.
Okay.
I think she's completely witty, and she's smart, and she's her. Like,
she is.
To me, that's hilarious. Lisa Lampanelli, I adore her. If I was like a white woman in another lifetime, I'd be her.
You release less than that.
She says exactly what she means.
Yeah.
She says it. She was on the roast of Flavor Flav.
Oh yeah.
I was in tears. And women like that inspire me because she doesn't give a damn what nobody says.
That's true.
And she just says how she feels, when she feels it. If you like it, whatever. And
Yeah.
that's the type of person I am in general. So I like to bring that through on my comedy. So those two women out there, those are two that's like really I focus on a lot right now because their styles are so different, but they're so similar at the same time.
So we talked about this heckler at the Hollywood Bar and Grill. Now, have you had any other hecklers? Because like when female comedians get on stage, guys like to say stuff and this and that, or sometimes people don't laugh because I feel like there's this stigma, with female comedians that they aren't as funny as male comedians. So it's kind of like you guys have it a little harder, to make people laugh because it's like, okay, well, she's
who's this pretty chick? Why does she want to do comedy?
Yeah.
I haven't had too many hecklers. It's mostly a lot of dudes that be like, "Oh damn, she look good. Look at that ass." And they're just like, "Listen to my jokes."
Yeah.
But I've had people come up to me after the show, and a dude was like, "Yo, I never liked female comics, but you're hilarious." And I was just like, thank you. And then on top of that, he was in LA. He was just like, "I don't even like New Yorkers." And I was just like,
wow.
So you don't like females or New Yorkers, or female comics or New Yorkers, but you like me? I felt like, hey, I'm making some type of way.
Yeah.
So, I get a lot of, I didn't think you would be funny, but you're hilarious type of remarks.
But that's always a nice feeling, though. If you're
that's
able to kind of like change the.
And I'm trying to, like I told this one dude, I was like, "Did I change your perspective on female comics?" He's like, "You sure did." And I'm just like, it's sad it has to be that way. But I couldn't understand because honestly, there's sometimes I look at female comics and they just be like, "Really? You're gonna talk about sex again, huh? Gotcha." And I don't even want to watch it, and I'm over it. So I can understand how they feel. That's why my main thing is I never try to just talk about sex or vagina or titties. And that's
what it is. It's sex, vagina, titties, boyfriend. That's all female comedians
That's exactly
talking
how it goes. So when I get on stage and I start talking about, my brother or my family or my PTSD, they're like, all right, cool. You got something, you got some type of substance.
Yeah.
And a lot of female comics don't have substance.
Yeah.
So I can understand why they're like, y'all like that funny. Because I don't want to hear about titties, boyfriend, and vaginas.
All the time.
I can't even write that. I can't even write just talking about that. Like, that's too, like, after a while, it's like, all right, vagina joke number 2. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, it doesn't. Where
do you go from there? He laughed when I said, look back at it. What? I don't get the joke, lady. I don't.
It's not clapping anymore. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of writing, what is your what is your process when you write a joke? Because then there's some comedians who sit down like an hour a day and they write jokes out. Other people put stuff in their phones or what is your writing process?
My writing process, it could start off just like this, like maybe a conversation we're having, and I'm telling you a story. And you're like, yo, that's funny. You should talk about that. The moment you say that, I either go to my pen and my pad or I go to the phone. I might jot down a couple thoughts on what we just talked about. And then from there, I'll try to elaborate and try to make it try to punch it up. Try to make it funnier and funnier and funnier just off of whatever conversation we have. And I try to push it to the extreme. But it's mostly it'll just come to me. Like something will happen to me and I will think it's hilarious. And I'll write it down and then I'll tell it to a couple other comics to see if they think it's hilarious. Once I feel like they're on board with me, I'm going to run with it. Yeah. And I'm going to try it out on stage and see how it works. And sometimes when you're on stage, you might end up saying something that you didn't even think of.
It's true.
And it come out, you be like, man, that's funny.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to run with that. Yeah. So that's my little process. I don't really designate like an hour a day, like I'm gonna just write. I'm not one of those people. I don't feel like I need to force the funny. Yeah. The funny will happen. Yeah. I don't want to have to go find the funny. I think, everything in life is funny. It's just how you tell it.
It's true.
So
it's true.
If I could take PTSD and make it funny, that's serious.
Then anything and everything
I can make anything funny.
Right?
Everything is fun. Everything is up for grabs after that.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Well, and that's it, because I know, like Seinfeld talks about, he will look at a pen and be like, okay, how can I make this pen funny? And then you look at it from different angles, and then you try it out, and then you just work stuff out, and then you're on stage, and you're like, okay, does this work? No, but this doesn't work. But let me see if I can go this way with it. And then because that's the thing, I think that it's the audience interaction, so that kind of gives you that, okay, this is working. Like I said, this is good. I didn't even think about this. Yeah. But then someone could be wearing something in the front row that would trigger something.
Exactly.
And because your wit is so sharp, you can just create oh my God.
That happened to me last week. I was telling a joke and I don't know which way, I was just flowing and it went completely left. Yeah. But the crowd loved it. Yeah. And as soon as I got off stage, I started writing. Yeah. I was like, if they loved it, it's staying. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep with it. Yeah. And it just happens like that. I never want to stay too much to the script.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Because when you get like that, you become a robot. And then people start hearing your jokes and they know exactly how your jokes are going. They know exactly your rhythm and your cadence. And I never want to be that person. I want people to be like, hey man, you did that joke somewhere else, but you told it different. But both of them is hilarious. That's the type of feedback I want from people. Yeah. So.
But now, okay, because like people have a set, especially I know out here in LA, a lot of comedians, they have a 15-minute set. And that's their set. That's set that they take to different clubs and they do this and do that, but it's the same set. So I'm kind of okay, you need new stuff at least every month.
Yeah.
Because you have the Twitter, you have the YouTube, and a whole bunch of stuff. So it's kind of especially if people come out and see you, they don't want to see the same set over and over and over again. So how often do you switch up sets, or do you, how often do you change jokes around?
I mean, I'm always, like I said, I'm writing. I have a couple jokes in development now that I'm just waiting for the right venue. Yeah. Because there's the place I'm out on Wednesdays. I have jokes I know I want to work on. That's probably my good 7 minutes I have that I know works and I could throw it any way I want. But if I feel like this new joke I've been working on could possibly work in this room, I'm going to wing it. and I'm gonna see what happens.
Just try it.
And try it out and see what happens, because that might get into the rotation of my 10-minute set.
Yeah.
But I always like try to switch out my jokes at least every couple of months. Sometimes like I'll have a venue where they absolutely love me, and I'm gonna try out all my new jokes, and they'll love it.
Just to see what.
See what their response is, because I already know the feedback is gonna be genuine.
Yeah.
So I've been here a year and a half, and I've been seeing comics work on the same set that I know your set, and that's not the type of reputation I want to have.
Yeah.
Every time people see me, like, man, you're growing, your set's different. You always want to be growing. So like every 2 or 3 months, I have a couple, maybe 1 or 2 new jokes in, along with my steady 7. So they have like I can have a good 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always rotating.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, okay, we're gonna get into the exciting part.
Okay.
Let
me drink some water.
What is your favorite venue that you have played thus far?
Oh, that's tricky. I would say the Ontario Improv.
Okay.
It was a mixed crowd. They were happy, ready to laugh, and they were extremely engaging with the comics.
Yeah, that's a great room.
It's a great room.
Yeah.
It was about 200 and something people there. It's always a great feeling when you're genuinely yourself and people respond and like it. So that place gave me the opportunity just be me.
Yeah.
You know, and I got my first applause break there.
Oh yeah.
For those who don't know what applause break means, is like you tell the joke so good, they just want to keep on clapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to like take that in. I was like, oh man, that feels amazing.
Yeah.
So that to me, for that incident alone, has special like meaning to me. So I would have to say Ontario Improv.
Okay. That's good. Now, how do you feel about these internet comedians? You know, these people who are thumb thugs. You know,
on Twitter?
On Twitter, or who just have stuff that's like on YouTube or whatever. You know, like they'll steal jokes and yada yada yada, but they don't do stand up. They don't do anything live. Everything is from behind a computer screen.
I mean, it's so easy to be somebody else when nobody has to see you or know who you are exactly in person. I hate these Twitter thugs, Twitter jokes, Twitter comics, whatever they call themselves. They put in their bio too, like, I'm not a comedian. I just tell jokes on Twitter. Like, you're not even telling your jokes. You're stealing other people's jokes. And first of all, I'm flattered. If you steal my jokes, if you steal my tweets, I'm glad that my brain was smart enough to create this that made you want to steal it. So you're welcome. But they have no longevity. Once Twitter is going to be a wrap, I say probably about another 2.5 years. Just like Vine is a wrap now. I hate social media. Sorry to say.
Do you?
As much as I'm on it,
You're on Twitter all the time.
It's because I have to be.
That's your 9 to 5. Twitter is your 9 to 5. You have over 100,000 tweets. Okay, if you're not following her on Twitter, you need to follow her because she'll blow up your timeline. Hilarious. Over 100,000.
I'm glad you noticed that. First of all, I've been on Twitter since I think day 1 of Twitter. Like because I had a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I hated my job. So for me to escape from my job, I would be on Twitter all day. And it got to the point where my boss didn't even want me having my phone on my desk.
So you're just a bad employee.
I was that employee that every day I was like, please, somebody lay me off so I can get unemployment. That was me. It got to the point I was coming to work so late that my boss rescheduled my time.
Wow.
Because I would have to be at work at 9 o'clock, and I didn't care. And I would get there 9:15, 9:20. So he was like, hey, we're going to put you at 9:30. Is that cool? And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I started coming to work at 9:45, 9:50. So the day I got laid off, it really wasn't a surprise to me. You know, I was just like, wow, finally? Thanks, guys. But I was on Twitter 24/7. I was on Facebook 24/7, trying to escape from the reality of corporate America. But I was tweeting like
a monster.
I was tweeting probably like I was averaging about 10 tweets a minute, you know?
Wow. That's doing too much.
Hey, when I would talk so much smack about my boss, And then I was working at ABC, so I saw a lot of, celebs come through, and I would like try to like tweet them and talk to them, and then just post random stuff and just be an idiot. But ever since then, it's kind of like I've actually died down from Twitter the way I used to be. If you would have known me probably about a year ago, they used to call me Sexy Texy because I was always on my phone texting or Twittering, and my fingers would be like, gotta get these tweets out. I could tweet with one hand, like, gotta get these tweets out.
That's terrible.
Gotta get these tweets out.
We need an intervention.
No.
That's what that is.
My Twitter followers support my career. Listen, I love my Twitter followers.
We need an intervention because it's out of hand. Okay, if you know Lourdes, okay, if you personally know her, we will schedule a Twitter intervention. We'll change her password, change her login, so she can't tweet anymore.
Twitter is my livelihood.
So let's talk about what you have coming up. Any exciting upcoming projects?
Actually, I do comedy sketches as well. I write, produce, direct, star my own comedy sketches, along with my comedy comrade Raina Amaya.
Yeah,
very funny lady. Check her out. We actually are in development of creating our own web series. Okay. Which is going to be completely hilarious, but we're going to try to balance it out with comedy and drama. But we're both stand-up comics, so it's going to be catered mostly to comedy. Yeah, you get to see two pretty funny girls. What's more better than that?
Bikinis.
We will wear bikinis. Maybe one day.
There you go.
Still on How Men Become Dogs web series. We're about to wrap on season 1. Season 2 is going to be starting right around the corner. It's a great show, not just because I'm on it, but it's really a great show, and because I'm on it. Besides that, just hitting these stages. Mondays I'm at Palladino's. Wednesdays I'm at Hollywood Bar and Grill. Thursdays Thursdays I'm usually at the Family Room if you're in LA area, in Inglewood area. I was there last night. That's a great room. They got great fried chicken. You like chicken? Catfish. It's a great room. Besides that, I'm in these Twitter streets, the YouTube streets. I'm dropping a new sketch actually tomorrow with Raina Myers called "Braid My Hair" /Hair Story.
Okay. And that's on the Sketch Goddesses.
Yes,
YouTube.
It's on our YouTube page, Sketch Goddesses. Okay. And if you want to check out some of my dramatic acting. And it's on my YouTube page, which is Lourdes Live. And that's it. I'm on these YouTube streets trying to get noticed.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And so where can all of your fans follow you on Twitter?
Twitter, it's LOU_star. That's LOU_star. Catch me on Instagram, Lulu Star, one word. I'm out in these streets.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. We had a great time.
Yes, had an amazing time. This was awesome.
For those of you at home, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in.
This was amazing.
Nick Perdue signing out. Thank you.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.